Hi there, Fabian Clouds here from the Guyana Revenue Authority. This week in Focus on GRA, we'll be talking about the removal of VAT on cement, how to reclaim VAT if you paid it before the new measure went into effect, and a reminder of the other building and construction materials with no VAT. This is where Focus on GRA begins.
Meet Tom.
Meet Harry.
Tom failed to update his banking information with the GRA and now has to go into the agency to receive his refund check.
While Harry is using the new Optimal software and his refund was successfully transferred to his bank account. Optimal Revenue Management System.
We want the best facilities that this country could ever see, the best infrastructure and public utility, the best education for children in this country, the best health services and public security. But if we want to see such development in every community, then we must be fair and pay we full share of taxes and duty. Want proper bridges and coca, pay your tax. Better roads and safer, pay your tax. Better electric power, pay your tax. Clear potable water, pay your tax. Better schools and teacher, pay your tax. Better nurses and doctor, pay your tax. Better police and soldier, pay your tax. For a better Guyana, pay your tax.
Welcome to Focus on GRA, a program of information for taxpayer education. We begin by informing you about the order implementing the zero rating of VAT on cement, as well as the obligations of suppliers to ensure that the benefits are passed on to the final consumer.
Cement is now a zero-rated item and should attract no value-added tax at the point of importation, sale, or purchase. The measure took effect from April 29, 2022. Following an order signed by Dr. Ashni Singh, the Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance. The order amended paragraph 8 of the first schedule to the Value-Added Tax Act, Chapter 8105, to include a supply of cement in the list of zero-rated items for construction. Since the measure went into effect, importers who had already purchased and shipped the said material prior to the effective date had inquired about how to effect sale on cement products for which VAT had already been paid, as well as how to effect current sales and reclaim VAT paid.
The GRA wishes to advise importers and suppliers who are VAT registrants that they are required to carry out the regular process of reclaiming their input tax from the Guyana Revenue Authority in keeping with Section 35 of the VAT Act, in instances where VAT was paid on cement prior to April 29, 2022.
Immediately following the new measure, the Guyana Revenue Authority updated the Automated System for Customs Data, ASICUDA World, to reflect the adjustment in the tax.
It would be recalled that in March 2022, new materials were added to the zero-rated list of items for construction, with the government vowing to closely monitor cement and other basic construction items such as steel, promising to make adjustments where necessary to mitigate the impact of steep price increases.
In view of VAT registrants claiming the tax where it was already paid, any attempts by importers or suppliers to manipulate the system by making false claims constitutes an offense that is liable on conviction to fines and imprisonment.
With cement being the most recent addition to the list of zero-rated building and construction materials, we'd now like to take this opportunity to remind you of the other materials that are VAT-free. Here's more.
The government has zero-rated for the purpose of VAT a supply of locally produced sand, including loam and similar materials, asphalt, concrete blocks, plywood, logs and lumber of a type and quality used in construction and housing.
Making it more affordable for homes, bridges, schools. So it's both the government's for the state and for private use. The purpose of including more items in the zero rated was for that, to boost and make it more affordable.
Also zero rated for the purpose of VAT are a supply of regionally produced stone for the purpose of construction and housing, and boulders for the purpose of construction of sea defense. Assistant Commissioner Lavina Walron cautions that the use of the phrase regionally produced refers to the Caribbean community or CARICOM.
Note it's produced, not sourced through. So on that point, I know some taxpayers may be of the opinion that they can purchase an item from another country out of CARICOM, ship it to a partner or themselves by another business name registered as another business within CARICOM, and then import it to Guyana. Note that that should not qualify since it's locally produced. The word produced. In other words, we expect it to be produced by a CARICOM member state to boost the regions. So just pay attention to the word locally produced and regionally produced.
Meanwhile, zero rated for the purpose of VAT are supplies of locally produced pre-stressed concrete piles, fabricated and manufactured steel beams for building and construction, and the supply of spars, palings, staves, shingles, and wattles. A supply of locally manufactured roofing and PVC products and spars have also been zero rated. It is important to note that the customs duty on industrial and building cement has been reduced. Grey building cement, under tariff heading number 252310, and other hydraulic cements under tariff heading number 252390 have been reduced from 15% to 5%. These new measures took effect from March 1, 2021, after the passage of the national budget, which was presented by Finance Minister Dr. Ashley Singh. Schedule 1 of the Value Added Tax Act outlines all the goods and services that have been zero rated for VAT purposes.
We'll have a tax specialist joining us on the other side of the break to talk about the due date for submission of VAT return. Focus on GRA will be back after this.
The Guyana Revenue Authority is reminding taxpayers signing up for e-services to ensure that they complete their registration correctly. Please be reminded that your taxpayer identification number should be entered in the username row. Additionally, no dashes or spaces should be used when inputting the tax identification number. Remember, registering for e-services allow you to submit your return online at a time convenient to you. Don't delay. Sign up for e-services today.
You're watching Focus on GRA. We're wrapping up our program by taking you over to the virtual room with Carlita Edwards and a tax specialist. They will be talking about submitting VAT returns and the due date in the month of May.
Welcome to Focus on GRA. Joining me today is Ms. Susan Watson from our Tax Advisory Services section, and she will be answering questions relating to value-added tax. Our first question is, when is the due date for submitting the value-added tax return?
Every taxable person is required to lodge a tax return and make payment, if there's any, for each tax period within 15 days after the end of the period. This does not include weekends and holidays. It is important to note that a VAT return must be submitted whether or not a person is engaged in a taxable activity in the period. In this instance, a nil return would have to be submitted. The tax return is required to be filed in a format as prescribed by the Commissioner General, which includes electronic filing through e-services, or alternatively, a hard copy can be submitted. Payment of taxes can be made via MMG, Bill Express, and any of the following banking institution online bill payment facilities: Demerara Bank, GBTI, and Republic Bank.
The second question we would like you to answer, Ms. Watson, is what is the penalty for submitting a VAT return late?
An individual who submits their VAT return after the due date will be required to pay a penalty of $1,000 for each day or part thereof, that the return remains outstanding, or 2% of the tax outstanding, whichever is greater.
And finally, can you tell us, Ms. Watson, what are some important information that the value-added tax return should include?
When completing a VAT return, the following information must be included: the registrant in, the tax period in which the VAT return relates, legal name of the taxpayer, business name or company name, the address. Additionally, the VAT return form requires VAT registrant to give details of input VAT, VAT paid or payable in respect of taxable supply or an import of goods by a taxable person. An output tax is the VAT charge or chargeable on a taxable supply made by the person.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. If you need any additional information, feel free to make contact with our tax advisory section on the telephone number listed at the end of the program.
And that's all for this week's Focus on GRA, but for more information on VAT returns and zero-rated building and construction materials, visit our website at gra.gov.gy. You can check out our YouTube channel, and you can also send us your inquiries via email, grapublicrelations@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages for up-to-date tax-related information. Thank you for watching. I am Fabian Klaus. Stay safe, everyone.